Welcome to Rewrite the Story. I am your host, Ron Simplified Myers. And if this is your first time here, I am glad you found us. And if you have been writing with me since episode 1, you already know. This is not a show about pretending everything is okay. This is a show about what happens when it is not okay and what you do next. So wherever you are right now, driving, walking, sitting in a parking lot, trying to get yourself together before you go inside, I see you. And I'm glad you showed up. Today we are talking about something that took me a long time to be able to even say out loud, being truly seen. Not heard, not pitied, not managed. Truly seen. Stop for a second. I have one question for you before we go any further. I want you to actually sit with this. When was the last time another human being looked at you, really looked at you, and you felt like they actually knew who you were? Not the version you put on for work. Not the strong one you show your kids. Not the one who says I'm fine when somebody asks how you're doing. The real you. When was the last time that happened? For a lot of men listening to this show, the men who have lost a spouse, lost a partner, lost the person who was supposed to be there forever, the honest answer to that question is a painful one. The last time you felt truly seen was her, and now she's gone. I know that space. I lived in that space. My wife and I were together for 32 years. And I want to be careful here because I do not want to just throw that number out like a stat. 32 years means something. It means we built a language together that nobody else spoke. It means she knew what my silence meant. She knew the difference between the quiet where I was thinking and the quiet where I was hurting. She knew when I said I'm good, whether I meant it or not. She saw me. Not because she was perfect. Not because we never struggled. But because over 32 years we made a decision over and over again to keep showing up for each other. To keep looking. To keep choosing to know the other person more deeply than the day before. And then she got sick. She battled cancer for 17 years. 17 years. And let me tell you something about walking alongside someone through that. It does something to you that is almost impossible to describe to someone who has not lived it. It strips everything away. All the noise. All the small stuff. All the things you thought mattered. What you're left with is just two people trying to see each other as clearly as possible for as long as possible. And when she passed, I did not just lose my wife. I lost my witness. I want to sit on that word for a minute. Witness. There is a concept in some traditions. The idea of a life witness. Someone whose job, whose sacred role is simply to see your life. To know your story. To hold the full picture of who you are. Most of us only ever have one person who truly fills that role. And when that person is gone, there is a particular kind of loneliness that sets in. It is not just the loneliness of an empty house. It is not just the loneliness of eating alone or sleeping alone. It is the loneliness of feeling invisible. Like you could disappear and the world would not even notice because the one person who truly knew you was no longer there to say, wait, he was here. I knew him. He mattered. That is what I felt. And if you are honest with yourself right now, I think some of you feel it too. Now here's where I want to be very direct with you. Because this show is not about sitting in the pain. It is about moving through it. That feeling of invisibility, that fear of never being truly known again, it does not just go away on its own. And it does not go away because time passes. Time passing without intention does not heal anything. It just makes the wound older. What starts to move you out of that invisible place is a decision to stop hiding. And I know what some of you are thinking. Ron, I am not hiding. I go to work. I show up for my kids. I function. And I hear you. You are showing up. You are doing what needs to be done. That is real. That is strength. But functioning is not the same as being known. You can function completely on the outside and be completely hidden on the inside. A lot of men have mastered exactly that. I was one of them. Here's what hiding looks like for most men after loss. It looks like keeping conversation surface level. Talking about sports, talking about work, talking about everything except what is actually going on inside you. It looks like staying busy, filling every hour so there is no space for anyone to ask a real question and no space for you to feel a real feeling. It looks like saying, I'm doing okay so many times that you start to believe it, even when you know it is not true. It looks like being physically present in every room and emotionally absent from all of them. Does any of that sound familiar? I am not saying that to make you feel bad. I am saying it because I did all of it. And I know it feels like protection. It feels like you are keeping yourself safe. But what it is actually doing is keeping you alone. Not alone in the house, alone in the soul. And that kind of alone, if you let it go long enough, starts to feel normal. And that is the danger. So let me talk about what it actually looks like to start moving toward being seen again. And I want to be clear, I am not talking about jumping into a new relationship. I am not talking about finding someone new to fill the space. That is not what this is about. This is about you. Before anyone else. This is about you being willing to know yourself again. Because here's something I learned, and this took me a long time to understand. The reason being seen by another person feels so terrifying after loss is not just because you are afraid of losing someone again. It is because somewhere along the way, you stopped seeing yourself. When your whole identity for years was bound up in being her husband, her partner, her person. When so much of how you understood yourself was in relationship to her, when she left, you did not just lose her. You lost your own reflection. And before you can let anyone else truly see you, you have to be willing to look at yourself again. Now I want to give you something practical today, because I believe in doing the work, not just talking about it. I call this the daily witness practice, and it is simple, almost too simple. But do not let the simplicity fool you. Every morning, before you pick up your phone, before you turn on the news, before you start performing for the day, I want you to give yourself 5 minutes. Sit somewhere quiet and ask yourself one question out loud, not in your head, out loud, with your own voice. The question is this: what am I carrying right now that I have not said out loud to anyone? And then answer it, honestly, to yourself in that empty room. You might say something small. You might say something that surprises you. You might not be able to stop talking once you start. Whatever comes up, let it come up. Do not judge it. Do not fix it. Just say it, because here's what that practice does. It starts training you to witness yourself, to be present with your own story, to stop running from your own inner voice. And when you can sit with yourself without flinching, you start to become someone who can be known by others without running. That is how it starts, not with someone else. With you, I want to close today with something I have said before on this show, and I will keep saying it because I believe it with everything I have. Your story is not over. The man you are right now and in the middle of all of this, he is not the final version. He is not the finished chapter. He is a man in the middle of a rewrite. And the next version of your story, the one being written right now through everything you're surviving, that man is going to be someone worth knowing, someone worth seeing. Let yourself be seen. Start with yourself and trust that the rest will follow. I am Ron Simplified Myers. Thank you for spending this time with me today. It genuinely means everything. Share this episode with a man who needs to hear it. And I will see you right back here next week for episode 7. And most important, remember, you are extraordinary.